today. The Pirates and the Cubs in the finale of the series. Pirates trying to win all three here at Wrigley Field. Jamison Tyone against John Lester. Lester considered one of the best. And for the Pirates trying to get things going against the lefty today, it's not been an easy task in the past.
Well, it hasn't been an easy task against Hendricks or Arrieta either for the Pirates, so they hope to win this game against Lester, who is very, very tough. 2 no decisions to start the year. Career against the Bucks, 4-3, a 2.68 ERA. As I mentioned, Lester is very good at home. The Cubs have won his last 11 starts here at Wrigley, so hopefully the Bucks can figure him out.
And you were saying he's controlling the running game a little bit better too, so we'll take a look at that today. Those two will begin as observers today, Nova and Hanson. And here, bunny ears for you on Easter Sunday. And why not have some baseball with the holiday as well? And the Pirates trying to make it 3 here at Wrigley before they head to St. Louis. We'll find out if they can do it up next, right here on Root Sports. Always a battle when these two teams get together, but it has been especially fun the last couple of afternoons. Pirates have won the first 2 games, thanks in large part to that go-ahead McCutchen home run in the 7th inning yesterday, a 3-run shot, and that was with the wind blowing straight out. Today it's still pretty breezy here, but not quite the same as yesterday.
You're going to have to earn your homers a little more today than yesterday. I don't know if I've ever seen the wind blow that hard that long. The entire game, 20+-mile-per-hour winds, which aided on a couple of those homers, both by the Bucks and at least the one Chris Bryant homer was aided by the wind. But yeah, you're going to have to hit it a little harder today to get it out.
Haven't had a heavier wind in 7 years here at Wrigley Field yesterday. Today a little bit more moderate. And a look at some Point Park tweets as we get started here today. Yes, happy sweepster. Thank you, Matthew. We had a chance at sweeping the Cubs. The Pirates did that a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago, in fact. But of course, the Cubs are a different team than they were 3 years ago. This is be a great start to a Bucks and Pucks day here today. As we'll see playoff action for the Penguins after Pirates baseball here today. So what a great afternoon and evening. Settle in. Hopefully we'll see that thing thrown back a few times today. That means the Pirates have hit some out of the ballpark. Who's in there today? The RAV4 lineup for the Buccos. Jordy Mercer against the lefty leads things off. Then Marte and McCutchen. Andrew with a 6-game hitting streak now. David Freese cleans up over at first base. Cervelli, then Harrison over at third. Goslin gets a start. Adam Frazier will bat 8th, and then Jamison Tyone.
And it will be a tough go against John Lester, as always. The ERA 164. You see 14 punch outs in 11 innings. Opponents hitting 262 against him. This guy, you know, it's mostly fastball. It only averages 91.5 miles per hour, but for whatever reason, hitters can't hit it. He's been dominant with it, especially his last 14 starts. You go back to last year, one of the best pitchers in baseball, 148 ERA over his last 14 starts. And that fastball, nobody's hitting it. 199 average over that period in time with just 1 home run. So Lester is tough. He has that sneaky fastball that it's hard to put the barrel to. So hopefully the Pirates can figure it out enough to get another win.
And here's who's behind him today. The Honda defense for the Cubs. It's the same 8 that we've seen most of this series. Schwarber, Hayward, and Zobrist in the outfield. Bryant, Russell, Baez, and Rizzo. That's all been the same. Contreras now catching his 2nd game in a row. And they pretty much have those regulars in every day for the Cubs. There's Addison Russell, the shortstop, just 23 years old. Seems like he's been around for a while now. Jason Hayward manning center. And a very flashy and solid Javi Baez over at second base. Mercer got the day off to start yesterday, but did appear. And has homered in his career against Lester. And we're underway here from Wrigley Field. 1-8-9 for Jordy. They're telling us it is a 9-mile-per-hour wind today. Yesterday it was 24 at game time.
A little bit of a directional change too, kind of pushing more towards right than straight out. Lester, hard time finding the zone early on. Jordy Mercer, favorable count.
He'll see 4 pitches and a walk. Now the Pirates have had success last year, great success. In fact, the best winning percentage against lefties a year ago. This year, off to a different start.
They faced some pretty tough lefties as well. I think the Reds' young lefties have pretty good arms. They had to face Chris Sale, now Lester. It's going to turn around. There's too many batters in this lineup that love hitting lefties, like Mercer, like Marte, McCutchen, Freese, Harrison. I mean, we have some guys that crush lefties, so that trend won't stay that way. They will definitely start swinging the bats better against the southpaw.
Cervelli and Frazier too. I mean, really just about everybody.
Exactly.
Even Frazier is a lefty batter. Marte has hit well in this ballpark. And he got into the home run parade yesterday. He's got a couple now. Pirates hit 4 home runs yesterday. Great to see the offense come alive. And like you said, Rock, some of that was the wind, and a lot of it was some just hard hit balls. Well, Joe West has been a little stingy here in the opening going here.
Fans unhappy. Joe looks a little unhappy.
Yeah, those you can see those go both ways.
Joe West always seems unhappy, but good character.
He's not, yeah. Great singing career, as well as being the longest tenured umpire in baseball. Lester has missed with 7 in a row. A Bronx cheer here in Chicago. Now you can bet that Marte will take the bat off his shoulders if he has one he likes. Mercer's going to go. And a foul ball. Do you think that John Lester, we hear so much about him controlling the running game, Kamara Barti coaches the base runners. Do you think the Pirates will be more aggressive with Lester today? And what does he do to combat that?
Well, you know, he's not throwing over to first. And that everybody knows. He has a thing where he can't throw the ball over to first. So you get a bigger lead. The thing is with Lester, he's learned to be so much quicker to the plate. It's hard to get a good jump off him, even with that great lead.
Mercer running again.
And I know we've watched it in the past. We watched it last postseason where you know, opponent runners against Lester will take bigger and bigger leads. But because he's so quick, it's hard to get a good jump, especially if you have a strong arm catcher. And you have that today in Contreras. You have to make sure that you can get off and get there to second base. And you can't be far enough off lead wise to where if you don't go, you're going to get picked off with the throw behind you.
And Mercer's run 3 times in a row, but all fouled off. Yeah, Lester went at one point 2 years without throwing over to first base a few years back, but a couple of years ago they ran at will. It was the most that a lefty pitcher stolen bases had allowed in a half century in baseball.
Yeah, and that's because he didn't have a slide step. That he wasn't quick to the plate, and so you could get a big lead and just take off. But he has worked on that.
Mercer again running.
Here we see again Marte with fastball after fastball. Mercer getting a workout in, and he'll continue to go with the count full. But this is what's interesting about what I was talking about with Lester and his fastball. I mean, where he's throwing 90, 91 miles per hour. Marte, a great fastball hitter, and having a hard time getting extended, getting the barrel to the ball, getting some pitches to hit, and all he can manage is to foul them off.
And they've caught the plate too. Mercer running. They strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Boy, what a big turnaround that is too. I mean, you're looking like you can have first and second, nobody out, with Andrew McCutchen coming to the plate. And Lester wasn't that quick to the plate on that particular pitch, but the strong, accurate throw right on the money. Plenty of time to get Jordy Mercer.
Well, he threw him 5 straight fastballs and then the cutter. Maybe just enough to evade the bat.
You know, and basically, again with Lester, I mean, when he's behind the count, you pretty much know what you're going to see. You're going to see the fastball, the cutter. The cutter is a good pitch for him as well. But it's still, the velocity is the same. There's a little more late movement. These guys have seen it plenty.
On a strike on McCutchen, who had his second home run yesterday. That go-ahead home run, a 3-run home run in the 7th. First time that the Pirates have homered with multiple men on this year. Couldn't have come at a bigger time. We're working on a 6-game hit streak.
It always helps. Now obviously Lester working with a new catcher, Contreras. They have a strong arm back there. Is that backswing maybe got a piece of Contreras.
I want a 94.
I've always thought that was kind of fascinating. A guy like Lester that had to have David Ross behind the plate, and to think that he couldn't have success without Ross. I mean, I think he knows that he could have success without Ross, but he just was comfortable with him.
Down the line, Zobrist, and off to the races. There goes McCutchen around second. He's going to head to third, and he's going to have a 2-out triple.
Well, again, we showed the wind blowing that way. It's even blowing a little harder that way right now. And so At Wrigley Field, you know there's not much room down there. If it's going to land down there near that wall, good chance it's going to be a fair ball. There's just maybe a foot or so, and you saw Zobrist uncomfortable as he neared the wall. Kind of went into his slide, misplayed it a bit. Andrew will take it.
There are a lot of places where there is brick here. There is actually some padding down the lines there. One of the few places where the brick isn't exposed. Now David Freese with a 2-out chance. Hitless yesterday, but he's been one of the hotter hitters in baseball here through the first couple of weeks. A leadoff walk and then a 3-0 count on Marte. A strike him out, throw him out double play. McCutchen extending his hitting streak to 7 games with that triple. Now a chance. Good sweeping stop by Contreras.
Yeah, that was a nice stop. Obviously, with the runner on third, if you can't keep it in front, Andrew, with his speed, would have been able to come in and score. Curveball.
First full season for Contreras. David Freese seems to get a lot of counts in his favor.
He's been extremely patient when he's locked in. Typically, you're going to see that with a hitter. Only going to swing at pitches that he thinks he can drive up until 2 strikes.
Freese has seen the most pitches per plate appearance in baseball. Back to Russell. Ends the inning. Pirates get that 2-out triple. Need McCutchen there at third. And the Cubs coming to bat.
In the Pirates dugout in the first inning was the Andrew McCutchen triple, but actually that might have been second to what just took place moments ago. We're talking about a rat just making his way past the on-deck circle and right across the Pirates dugout. Tom Prince, and watch Dave Giles. Let me get my cup of coffee out of the way right there. Makes his way down to a member of the Cubs ground crew. 2 cups is what it took to remove that rat from the dugout. Quite a few laughs, Joe and Rock, to get this game started this afternoon.
Robbie, that's just an Easter bunny that got loose. That's all that is.
Tell you what, they got friendly, tiny little rats here in Chicago. I mean, if that was one of those big black river rats you see down around the North Shore, they wouldn't be so calm. As Tyone getting set to face these Cubbies. 2 good starts to start 2017.
I wanted to see how you're going to transition from river rats to Tyone. Well done. Well, that'll catch your attention. We know the Pirates bench is alert. Kyle Schwarber in that leadoff role to begin the season. He's also been a very patient hitter. And he's a very good one. And the rest of the Cubs lineup today. Then Chris Bryant coming up. He homered twice yesterday. 8th career multi-homer game. Rizzo bats third. Then Zobrist, the cleanup man. Russell drove in 95 last year. Hayward, Contreras, the pitcher, bats 8th, and John Lester, and then Javier Baez. Bryant hit one that would have gone out to Waveland Avenue, and another one that wouldn't have gotten out if it wasn't the wind wasn't whistling out yesterday.
Jameson Taillon. You know, watching Tyler Glasnow yesterday and how many changeups he threw. I wonder if Taillon, who throws basically 2/3 of his pitches are fastballs, 10% changeups. It'll be interesting to see if he kind of incorporates that a little more this afternoon.
Now, Glasnow yesterday got 7 strikeouts. 2 of those were on changeups. And what did you say he threw? About maybe 30 changeups out of those?
It seemed like it. I didn't look at the actual
Roughly.
number, but yeah, it seemed like almost a third of his pitches were changeups. Boy, he had good command of it, good movement. Nice little change of pace.
And if I recall, I think the Cubs only got 1 hit off that changeup yesterday for the most part. A lot of swings and misses.
Yeah, and well, it was interesting early in the game. I'm pretty sure the Bryant home run was a 92-mile-per-hour fastball, the first one. And then, like, just a batter or two later, he threw a 91-mile-per-hour changeup.
Now a strike.
I think Chris Bryant would be nice to see here would be a ground ball double play, but Chris Bryant doesn't hit into many double plays, just 3 all of last year.
You told me that the other day. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Well, could it be one? Boy, he runs a lot better than you think he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, and a couple of other things with Bryant. He runs at least average, I would say, but he also gets out of the batter's box. You know, some hitters, based on their mechanics, some get stuck in the batter's box, whereas Bryant, he's kind of on his front foot, so he gets out of there quickly. Now, that ball wasn't scalded over there to third base to Josh Harrison, but long strides, beats the relay throw easily.
Clint Hurdle talking with Joe West. Are they talking about Schwarber's slide or? Goslin in there at second base today.
A little bit of a
roll, he doesn't stay
and,
on the base.
Yeah, and it comes across, way across the base.
That's going to be a violation. And that means that Bryant will ground into a double play once this is overturned. Well, that was a good read there. I don't think we think of it because it's such a it doesn't come into play very much. Hitters really adjusted to that slide rule. Yeah, he's got to keep the base. That's part of a bona fide slide. He didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, he was way beyond second base, and that's how guys get hurt. Phil Goslin does a nice job after letting go, kind of rolling over Kyle Schwarber to where that back leg, that right leg, didn't get caught.
Now this should be pretty cut and dried. And it's a double play.
Oh.
And the Pirates win the challenge.
And that was a pretty easy one. Now, and Joe Madden actually on his way out.
Can't argue replay. It's an automatic ejection. It's an automatic ejection if you argue replay. And Joe West has given him a little bit of slack. And if he persists, he's going to get tossed. Now remember, it's the umpires in New York that make the decision. The umpires here have nothing to do with it once the challenge is instituted. And kind of rolls as well. That's not legal, and doesn't keep the base. That's not legal. That was an easy call for the umpires. Good challenge. And when Chris Coughlin slid into Jung Ho Kang, an injury doesn't always happen, but that's part of the reason why they instituted that rule. Well, pretty similar, right? A double play, just like what happened to the Pirates, and then a 2-out hit here. And remember this horrible situation from a couple years back. This is, you know, the baseball is trying to preserve the health of players, and that's why the slide rule was put into place.
Ooh, yeah,
that's hard to watch.
That was a nasty one.
Young really wasn't able to play without limitation until maybe about the final month or 6 weeks of last season. There's Ben Zobrist. .171. So 2 singles in the inning off Tyone, but a double play in front of the ladder. And I guess Cervelli wants him to throw over to first. Usually it's a more subtle. Cervelli is so demonstrative. I love all of his actions, whether he's at the plate or behind it. Cervelli, when he's at the plate, sometimes he'll the ball comes up and in, he'll throw the bat away behind the plate. You can tell he's got so much emotion.
Oh yeah. I think part of it's mechanics too. I think as he's going to, into his setup and getting ready to hit, he has some momentum going towards the plate. So when a ball does come in on him, he has to kind of change directions a little bit.
Pitchers love throwing to him. And especially with this young staff. Pirates inking Cervelli to a 3-year extension. That's year 1 of it. That's 2. Rizzo's going to move to third. 3 hits in the inning for the Cubs. But still a chance for Tyone to get out unscathed.
I think this is a changeup, and the one thing about a changeup with a runner on first, it's the easiest pitch to pull, and you have a huge hole on that right side, and that changeup looked to be middle in. So for Zobrist, all he's doing is throwing the barrel out there, and he has that whole right side to work with. There you see his freeze just a bit off the bag over there, and that was an easier pitch, I think, for Zobrist to hit through that hole. A changeup.
Runners at the corners for Addison Russell. Drove in 3 yesterday. Knocked in 95 last year. Can Tyone get out of it? There's a strike. Now behind 2-1 on that 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Tyone looks like he's just trying to find it a little bit here in the first inning.
We saw last year, obviously, Tyone in his rookie year, and the command, the control, just 17 walks in 104 innings. I don't think he's had that command. He's pitched very well, obviously, the first 2 starts, but I don't know if the command has been as good as we've seen. I think there's times where everything he throws is right where he wants to throw it.
Like that changeup, for example, earlier.
Well, the changeup, again, it looked like Francisco was kind of set up in the middle of the plate. I mean, it's a pitch where I think it's more effective when it's down and away from a left-handed hitter than middle in. That one was actually up and middle in. It's been a very effective pitch for Jameson, especially this year. Again, he's only thrown it about 10% of the time, but opponents haven't hit it. 143 batting average against the changeup coming in. In fact, since last year, middle last year, opponents only have hit the Taillon changeup at a 135 clip, which was actually 5th lowest in all of baseball. Looked to be it there.
So now 3-2. 2 Cubs aboard. Zobrist will be running from first.
Looked like he put down the curveball for the 3-2 pitch. There it is.
And he struck him out.
Great pitch.
Russell couldn't get the bat off his shoulder, and Taillon wriggles out of it. Umpire Joe West about that overturned slide rule. He doesn't have much of a leg to stand on that argument. Plus, Joe West didn't make the call.
I would like to hear what he was. What it doesn't look like an argument as much as a conversation and maybe an interpretation of the rule. But I'd be interested to know what it is Joe Maddon is questioning about that. If it is about that particular play, because like you said, it was pretty cut and dried.
And a good challenge for the Pirates. They retain their challenge after winning it. Scoreless through an inning. Cervelli, who already has surpassed last year's home run total. He's been driving the ball a lot more. Healthy hands. It's been great to see. That one out to right. Zobrist. Oh, under the big top.
Cervelli continues to hit the ball harder. It's funny because the balls that he's really driving, whether it be to center or right center or straightaway right, they seem to be outs. And when he mishits a ball, they go into the seats like we saw last night. But you see how it gets deeper out there, straightaway right field. At PNC Park, that's at least off the wall, maybe over the wall. And Zobrist, a couple plays for him out there that not feeling very comfortable around the brick.
Yeah, most of his career in the infield, but he's played all over.
Well, nobody wants to run into a brick wall, so you can't really blame him.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Well, you'll have players that'll say that they'll run through a wall for you, not this one.
Rodney McRae did it, but besides that,
not a brick wall.
No.
Turner Ward, another one.
Well, that's right.
Went through a wall. Fiberglass, I guess.
Right to Russell. Well, Lester threw 24 pitches in that first inning. He's needed 5 here to get 2 outs in the second.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of folks probably don't remember that. They should try to Google the Rodney McRae.
Oh, that was a
play.
long time ago. That was in the minor leagues too.
I want to say it was in like Calgary or Edmonton.
I think it was Portland.
Portland. I knew it was in the PCL.
Guess. Yeah. Went through a wooden fence. The panel came up
and came out of it. I mean, it's amazing. I think he broke his nose or something. But wow, what a good play that was.
Gave him the out too. Gosselin getting the start at second today. He's gotten 1 hit so far as a Pirate. That was a bunt single. Came over from Arizona in a February deal. Sent to minor league pitcher Frank Duncan to the Diamondbacks. Get this utility man. Lester rebounding with a 1-2-3 inning. Through an inning and a half from Wrigley. No score. The Cubs game 3 between the Penguins and the Blue Jackets. Pens up 2-0 in the series. Yeah, they hope to make it a big advantage in Columbus tonight. Pens pregame presented by Levin Mattress and Furniture right after the game here. And the Blackhawks in playoff action. A couple of shutouts for Chicago, so hockey fans here not as happy as we are back home.
Yeah, that's I think playoff hockey is as much fun as anything, especially to watch it live, and except for when you go to the game and the home team gets shut out, let alone twice. Because that's what they all look like in the stands, like that guy. Every one of them.
When McCutchen hit the home run here yesterday, there were 40,000 frowny faces.
Yeah.
It's fun. And a 3-run go-ahead home run in the 7th. I bet you, as an athlete, there's nothing better than that, right? When you silence the home crowd.
I would imagine so. Especially here, I mean, because it was funny because after the game yesterday, you saw Josh Harrison kind of turned and made some motion towards the fans. You get a good bit of abuse playing the outfield here at Wrigley. Some good-natured, some not so much.
Harrison said as much after the game.
I mean, if you engage with them, it usually, it's not as bad. They become a little more friendly, but they can be ruthless.
The bleacher creatures. I've sat at the bleachers here before, and I've heard some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an outfielder, a quarter outfielder, you got to be probably willing to take it and maybe willing to dish some of that out too. And when it's in good spirits, even if it's ribbing it, I think it's fun. It's part of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And he's
goodbye.
saying bye to his friends.
How'd the game go? Contreras called out on strikes.
2 strikeouts looking for Jameson Taillon, and both of them the curveball, a 3-2 curveball to Russell. See this one here, perfectly placed. Contreras didn't like the call, but man, that caught a lot of plate.
It's where it crosses the plate first, not where it's caught on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Good look. He's always got a lot of energy, and I'll tell you what, he's really handled this situation with Jung Ho Gung not getting the visa yet with aplomb, because he was the starting second baseman, played there all year last year. He had to move in an emergency to left field. He told Clint Hurdle yesterday, I got my outfield glove if you want me to go over there, when Polanco was a late scratch. He's playing third today.
Very unselfish. He offered up the services. Alan Hansen originally was going to play left field, and Jay Hay said, hey, I'll go out there.
Lester also called out on strikes. 3 Ks for Taillon through 2.
Rock, we're talking about playoff hockey last night. Adam Frazier was one of 2 Pirates to attend the hockey game last night, the Blackhawks and Nashville Predators. And here's a Point Park University Instagram post from Adam Frazier's account. Perched the day games in the CHI, got to catch the Predators game 2 with his friend Juan Nicasio. The 2 of them checked out the hockey game. Together was a 5-0 Nashville Predators win. Speaking of 2-0 deficits, I think that's what you're referring to, Rock. But I asked Juan Nicasio about it. I said, well, how do you describe your first ever hockey game? You're a guy from the Dominican, never seen a hockey game in person. He said it was crazy and it was loud. And once the national anthem started playing here in Chicago, he said those people are crazy inside. He said it reminded him of Coors Field back in 2007. That was the first time he ever went to a big league ballpark. He had been in the minor leagues the entire time, coming up as a young pitcher in the Rockies system. And going there last night, seeing his first hockey, it reminded him of the first time he saw 3 decks in a baseball stadium. So pretty cool and interesting night for Adam Frazier and Juan Nicasio, Joe and Rock.
Well, that's pretty neat, Robbie. Thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah, once the Thrashers moved out of Atlanta, Frazier, who grew up in tiny Bishop, Georgia, I guess Nashville, about 4.5 hours away. That's his team now. I didn't know Juan Nicasio got into the Blackhawks so much. he was all fanned out.
What stinks about that for Juan Nicasio is he says how loud and crazy it was. There is, to me, in hockey, the instantaneous response from a goal for the home team is the coolest thing about hockey, and he didn't get to experience that. But I think that is unlike any other sport. I think it's just it happens so quickly when that puck goes into the net, and the way the crowd reacts, he didn't get to experience that. That's when everybody goes crazy.
They'll have to go again. Maybe the next round, Ian's brother Garrett will take him there. And no relation, but he does have a jersey. Garrett has Ian's jersey. Ian Cole for the Penguins. Big hockey fan. I was at most of the games that any game that he could go to last year, he did. Ryan Vogelsong last year with the Pirates, also attending many of those games. Tyone trying to get aboard. Pirates have 1 hit. A 2-out triple by McCutchen back in the first. Lester a 9-pitch second after a 24-pitch first inning. That's a fair ball. Don't forget we'll have Game 3 of the Penguins for you after the game here this afternoon. And the next time that the Buccos return home, Friday, April 21st, it is a Zambelli fireworks night. The Pirates and the Yankees, a rare trip for New York to come to town. It's at 7:05, and then stay after the game. Zambelli fireworks presented by 93.7 The Fan. Go to pirates.com/fireworks and get your tickets. Fireworks now on Fridays, free shirts Saturdays. In fact, the next free shirt Saturday is a cut shirt, so that'll be fun. I'm glad they didn't do fireworks and move them to Sundays, because those are all day games, and that would make it not as fun.
Yeah, they're not as bright, not as beautiful.
Have seen that before, day fireworks. It's not a good idea, but I used to work for Mike Veck, the son of Bill Veck, who, since we're here in Chicago, the Hall of Fame owner, late of the White Sox and a few other teams, and his son Mike, very zany, he did that one day. He had fireworks after a day game. Just why not? And they were uninspiring, but everyone got a chuckle out of it. That was the whole point. A few years back here, they didn't even have lights at Wrigley, 30 years ago, so you could never have fireworks here. But down on the south side at old Comiskey Park, where Bill Veck, when he owned the White Sox, they did that. They blow off fireworks after every home run, and they had the pinwheels atop the scoreboard. They still do it. It's not quite the same at what are they, discount rate something ballpark, or what? They keep changing the name of it, but the new Comiskey.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Guaranteed rate. That's what it's called. And Lester is going to have another 1-2-3 inning, keeping the ball on the ground. A lot less offensive as the windy day yesterday.
Brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. And by Kenny Ross, Total Confidence Pricing. Let's go Bucks!
Jameson Taillon has blanked the Cubs through 2. And as we've seen it in his start so far this year, low scoring. On our UPMC scoreboard, 0-0. Number 9 hitting Baez. He has faced Taillon twice in his career and has gotten hit both times. Won a home run.
Uh-oh. I'm not sure where that got Francisco Cervelli, but the pitch was 96 and fouled off. One place they do not have equipment is the upper leg, and boy, that got right above the left shin guard. Ouch. Ouch. 96.
And a ground bat to third.
That was funny.
You get one a year.
I like it. Yeah, that was a good bat toss.
Ball didn't go anywhere. The bat went 90 feet. 4th strikeout for Taillon.
Man, going to that breaking ball. That was more like a one hopper to third, not a ground bat.
Oh boy, yeah. Harrison just making sure there wasn't a second one coming. I'm like, wow.
Well, don't want to stay in front of those.
So 3 straight men struck out by Taillon. First one swinging today. Now the second time around on the order, Schwarber got a base hit his first time. Three singles in that first inning, but Taillon got a double play ball after a successful challenge by the Pirates.
Ooh, not getting a call there. Looked pretty close. Joe West. Thought maybe I even saw a little bit of a flinch from Joe West. Does that look like it'd be a change up there? You see right at the knees.
And right after that, a base hit. Schwarber is 2 for 2 today. And we told you earlier in this series, Chris Bryant had yet to awaken at the plate. Well, yesterday he did. And used to be out on the Waveland Avenue. Now that one, the wind helped him out a little bit, but 2 home runs yesterday.
Yeah, he almost looked embarrassed running around the bases after the second one. Especially after the first one went like 450 feet.
MVP from a year ago popped up. It's the second baseman. Goslin makes the catch. Looked perilous for a moment, but he coolly retires Bryant.
Yeah, he was playing on the left side, so he had a ways to go. Ball was up their way again. The wind pushing it even further out into right field. You don't feel as stressed on those types because there's one out and a runner on first. So if something happens and you misread it or lose it and it falls in, you just pick it up and throw it to second. You're going to get the force.
Yeah, the runner's in no man's land there. Yeah. Now Rizzo struck a single his first time. 4 for 6 with 2 home runs lifetime against Taillon. Started him off with the curve.
And that's one thing about Jameson, confidence. in the curveball and the changeup to where if he's behind in the count, he doesn't have to come in with the fastball. He can flip the curveball in there for a strike or the change. Looks like he's going in here.
We were talking before the game. Do you think Rizzo's approach any different this year than last year?
Well, if the approach is any different, it appears he's backed off the plate a little bit. I mean, last year it seemed like that he had his toes on the very front line of that batter's box. His hands were out over home plate and just looked to hook everything. He backed off, it appears, a few inches.
Taillon behind him 3-0. This is the one guy that sticks out in my mind that Taillon has had trouble with. There aren't many. Gets a strike.
Yeah, you think if you're Anthony Rizzo and he's had some success against Taillon, he'd probably rather bat than walk, wouldn't you? As you see, one pitch missed earlier, the high strike, but that pitch well off the plate away.
Joe West has umpired about 5,000 major league games. His first was in 1976.
Wow.
There's definitely a strike.
Now what? He's gone to the curveball quite often with 2 strikes. Gotten a chase. He's gotten some called third strikes. You can see that 3-1 curveball right on the outside corner on the knees. What's he go with here? Looked like a fastball in, I think.
Better get it up.
Pretty much right where Cervelli set up. And for me, I mean, even Anthony Rizzo, who is up there looking to pull most times, if you can get that ball right where that last one was thrown on the fastball, that's a hard pitch to keep fair, even for Anthony Rizzo. I mean, more times than not, I think if he's going to get the barrel to it, he's going to pull it foul.
Schwarber runs. It's ball 4. Came back with a changeup there. First walk issued by Taillon.
There have been times, though, with Rizzo on the plate where you see pitchers try to pound him in because of that, because they think, well, if he's going to hit it, he's going to pull it foul. But there's times you see him get jammed on that pitch, and because he got jammed and hit it a little bit deeper, it flares out down the right field line. But that's the only time I can recall him keeping a ball fair that's on the inside corner, is when he gets jammed.
Zobrist ahead, ball 1. Two on and 2 out. One-0. Rebounds with a strike.
And then the changeup, and that changeup is what Zobrist hit through the right side. If he gets the swing and the same result as last time Zobrist was up with a changeup, see John Jaso would be right there, as he's not holding on the runner.
Throw to second.
Ouch.
And hit Schwarber.
I've seen Rizzo get hit with 3 pitches in this series without a flinch. Schwarber, same thing. Big barrel chested outfielder. I think that hit him somewhere up near the chest. Maybe the back, below the right shoulder.
Rizzo at first after the walk. Behind on Zobrist, 2-1. That's foul.
Good velocity, 96.
It's very easy from Taillon too.
It does. He looks so smooth, and it's so effortless. And not only that 96 not only firm, but the movement. I mean, he gets some late downward sinking action. And what makes him so tough is it's like when you're throwing 96, you're expecting to see it. You're geared up for it, and he has such good secondary pitches.
Rolls it over. Tyone gets there in plenty of time. Well, the Cubs have threatened in a couple of innings, but they've stranded Ford. Tyone pitches out of it again. A lot of Bucco fans here today. Why not? It has been a gorgeous weekend here in Chicago. For April, my goodness, summer-like here.
Yes. Yesterday, 80, over 80. It was up, I looked, 82.
It felt like summer last night.
Yeah.
After the ball game and during it.
Today's perfect as far as it's low 70s. Got some sunshine.
It can be downright wintry this time of year here.
It will be again.
Starling Marte trying to get aboard. He struck out in a 9-pitch at bat back in the first. Been swinging a good bat early on. Been seeing him either bat first or second.
I like it. I know the sabermetricians probably think that, you know, because he doesn't walk a lot, the on-base percentage isn't real high. I think he's better suited towards the middle, but based on, you know, the speed, and doesn't hit for a whole lot of power. Didn't drive in a bunch of runs last year, in the 40s with 46 RBIs last year, hitting a lot of the time in the middle.
Got fewer chances last year than he did the year before. Hit for the same batting average and even better slugging with runners in scoring position last year than he did the year before, but fewer opportunities. Go figure, in the middle of the order.
Yeah.
How weird is that? So now he's at the top of the lineup. Look, he's already driven in 7 runs.
Makes sense. A couple of homers.
Yeah, 46 RBIs last year, 9 home runs. I think the home runs are going to be up.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's built like a brick wall. I mean, he's solid. He's strong. Doesn't really have the home run swing that you see from some guys, but you know, when he's right mechanically, he's going to get the ball airborne. When he hits it hard, it's going to be in the seats.
And here, leading off the inning, you talk about the stolen bases, 47 of those a year ago. So if he's up atop that lineup, going to get on base a lot and can be driven in by McCutchen, get himself into scoring position.
Seeing a lot of pitches his first 2 at bats.
16 so far. 7 here, 9 in his first time around. Is there a correlation between seeing pitches and success at the plate?
In some cases.
Dying out there, but Hayward able to come on.
For instance, in the case with David Freese, I mean, he's seeing a bunch of pitches more than anybody per plate appearance. And so for Freese, I mean, he's just locked in. And so he's not going to swing at anything other than what he wants to drive up until 2 strikes. And so, yeah, when you're locked in like that, the ball, everything seems slower. You have more time to react. You recognize the pitch, the speed, the spin. And so if it's not in that little area that you're looking for early in the count, you're going to take more pitches.
McCutchen tripled his first time. So I guess, yeah, you get a better opportunity to hit the pitch that you want.
And then up to 2 strikes, I think you're in a better position to waste the borderline pitches and extend at bats, which we've seen David Freese do a whole bunch.
Yeah. And it's the first free shirt Saturday of the season. A week from yesterday, when the Bucks play the Yankees at 4:05. If you're one of the first 20,000 fans, you take home a free Andrew McCutchen T-shirt. Thanks to Point Park University. Go to pirates.com/free shirt Saturday. I like that shirt.
That's a newer shirt.
Yeah. I think that's an unofficial logo, right? A pirated shirt, maybe. Now, if you catch it off the rebound like that, because it's arena baseball.
Yeah. Andrew was looking to bunt it off the screen. Contreras, good job of boxing out.
Out to right, not quite enough. John Lester has sent down 9 straight Pirates.
It's pretty remarkable the success that he has, and you know, with basically fastball cutter. We've seen him flip a few curveballs, and he'll throw a rare changeup, but it's mostly fastball cutter. The cutter has a lot of break. It almost looks like a slider, and there goes the curveball. He just flips it in there for a strike. But the fastball is the one for me that it's must have some great life and late movement, because hitters have a problem with it. We talked about Marte and seeing so many pitches. I mean, the first at bat especially, I want to say maybe one was a fastball, and he's a good fastball hitter, and yet all he could do was foul him off.
Hard hit, but right to Russell.
Safe.
Yeah, drew him off the bag. That'll be an error on Russell. It's his second. The Pirates get a base runner.
Yeah, just a flyer, uncharacteristic of Addison Russell. He has plenty of time. He sets up. Not like he rushed the throw or anything like that. He just airmailed it.
Russell made 14 errors last year.
Big league shortstops don't make that type of throwing error very often. Seems to me we just saw one of those too. I don't know if we were in Boston somewhere where I think it was Xander Bogaerts had a similar play. Ball was right in front of him, had all day, threw it in the dirt.
You think about how consistent Jordy Mercer is.
He even has a throwing error this year.
Yeah,
he never has throwing errors.
Shortstop, that's a tough spot.
No, you have to have good feet. You have to be accurate with your throwing arm. Oftentimes you have to be able to get rid of it very quickly, which again works along with the footwork. See, there I'm guessing was the cutter, and again it looks more like a slider.
There's the Pirates shortstop.
Almost had a day off yesterday.
He wants to play in 162. So far he's got them all in. 2-2 on Cervelli.
Changeup. Just fading down and away. Then you see Lester, and he's throwing that fastball up in the zone. He's cutting the fastball down and in to the right-handed batter. So everything you see, you expect it exploding towards you. And so when he throws a changeup, it fades away. Easy to be fooled.
Pirates have done a pretty good job today of working some counts. It may not have paid off yet, but 68 pitches. Here in the fourth inning. Cervelli's seen only one in the zone under WB Mason strike zone. Base hit, and Freeze on the move. Moving to third.
Good at bat. Another hard hit ball. 2 hard hit balls off the bat of Francisco Cervelli against John Lester. 6th pitch of the at bat. Fastball away. Boy, right back. Just almost clipped Lester. Freeze looking in all the way so he can easily trot over to third.
Here the Pirates with their best chance. First and third, but with 2 away. Looking for a big 2-out hit. Caught part of J.H.'s ankle or foot there.
And there you see the cutter. You see how it's spinning and it's running in on J.H. So that cut fastball, hard for one to get in the air. Most of the time you'll see that an awful lot. Foul balls at the feet, foul balls pulled foul outside of third.
Fair ball. What a play by Bryant.
That's a big play. That might be a game saver. He's going to score at least one.
Guarding that line, and that saved the run. We're still scoreless. Brendan Finnegan, strained left lat muscle, and Brian Price saying started to feel it in that start back at Pittsburgh. That makes sense. He only lasted a couple of innings, and so he'll miss his next start. Rookie Davis, Anthony DeSclafani, of course, Homer Bailey also on the DL. So the Reds, the first place Reds, having some problems right now, and they're trailing at home against Milwaukee. Pirates looking to sweep this series here and get back to 500 and try to send the Cubs back to 500.
They must think the lat strain is minor. I mean, it sounds like a lat, especially, if it's the pitching side. It sounds to me like it'd be more than one start.
And that it has been bothering him for a while too. We'll see. Addison Russell will start it off. Yeah, the Reds have been one of the early talks of baseball. I think, and I thought this before the season, I'll say it again now, I think Milwaukee and Cincinnati, everyone probably thinks those are the 4th and 5th place teams when you write things down on paper prior to the season. Of course, we never know how that goes, but this is going to be a very competitive division, and there are going to be no easy victories within the division. I think the Reds has proved that after sweeping the Pirates in Pittsburgh.
Well, it's always about pitching, and so you look at what the Reds have been able to do pitching wise, as have the Brewers. I mean, the Brewers currently sit 5th in the National League in pitching, the Reds 3rd, the Cubs 2nd. So there's 3 of your top 5 teams from the Central.
Jameson Taillon with his 5th strikeout. I mean, Willie Peralta, we thought he was kind of washed up, but that young pitcher, another good day for the Brewers today.
And another good curveball from Jameson Taillon. That's a pitch that he has gone to repeatedly with 2 strikes.
Five strikeouts.
I think all 5 of those strikeouts have been via the curveball.
3 looking, 2 swinging. John Lackey on the left.
If the Cubs can do this year what they did last year, and that is keeping their starting rotation intact, healthy, they're going to be tough. They are going to be at or near the top of the division. And that's where last year all 5 of their starters made at least 29 starts. That's hard to do in this day.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen very often. Pirates, on the other hand, used 14 different starting pitchers. Yeah, that has happened 14 times in 20 years, where you get 5 starters going 29 starts. And of all those teams, every team either made the postseason, or if they didn't, they won at least 90 games.
Yeah.
So the last 20 years, if you get all 5 of your starters healthy all year long, you're going to be very successful.
Yes.
It just proves it. Right to Mercer. And 2 gone. And hey, look, I mean, right now, and who knows how the season's going to go. We're 2 weeks in, but the Pirates opening the season without a player on the disabled list for the first time since 1991. This is still the opening day roster 2 weeks in. I know that sounds unusual, but usually there's some underperformance that requires a move, or an injury, or both, or usually many of both.
Yeah.
It's been unusual.
Knock on wood. Hopefully
it's going to happen at some point.
Sure.
Try to avoid it as much as you can and for as long as you can. It's Chad Kuhl. We'll get the start Tuesday night in St. Louis. That's where the Pirates head after this one. 3-game set with the last place Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's early.
Don't get to say that often.
Something tells me the deck will be shuffled a few times throughout April. But you know what? If the Cubs don't have that same health, and there's another strikeout on a curveball from Jameson Tayo. And it's a beauty here today. 0-0. Music from Sum 41 and some great look on our Allegheny Health Network Super Mo. Scoreless ball game as we move to the 5th. Well pitched. It's still kind of breezy here today. Not quite like it was yesterday, though. Goslin. That was a home run yesterday.
I wonder if Hayward was having a little trouble with the sun there as you saw the different track he took. He was just kind of moving his way over towards right center, and then all of a sudden a big turn to get the ball out of the sun.
Yeah, he's a stalwart defender out there, so to see him a little out of kilter, that tells you something.
Well, what's interesting about it, a lot of times you see an outfielder or an infielder and the ball's up and it's in the sun and they try to shade it with their glove or whatever and they stay under the sun. Well, if you turn your body, you can get the ball out of the sun, and that's exactly what Hayward just did.
Frazier bounce out his only time. Great career numbers against lefties. For Frazier, who last year hit over 400 against lefties, but throughout his entire minor league career, very much the same thing. And he's at it again. With that good speed, let's see. Now he'll take a big turn. Schwarber did a good job getting to it.
I'll tell you what, he just knows how to handle a bat. I mean, he has great control over the barrel of his bat, and it doesn't matter righty or lefty, and it's kind of a defensive swing maybe, but he just slashes it. He's in protection mode. 2 strikes. You see not a lot of movement. We talked about it yesterday. No stride. Hands are already back, and then he just throws the bat to the ball.
He hit .320 once he had 2 strikes on him last year. That led all of baseball.
I mean, it's remarkable. I'd like to know somebody that's hit higher than that with 2 strikes. It's phenomenal.
Previous guy was Victor Martinez 2 or 3 years before that.
Yeah.
Think Tyon's going to bunt. Frazier back, Low throw might have gotten him. Now, if you're Tyone, do you want to swing away here?
Might as well. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult to sacrifice him over unless you really deaden the ball right in front of home plate.
But anyway, and it's a double play.
Yep. So there's your answer.
The hit erased. We're still 0-0. Not able to get any offense for him so far. There's the Cubs second baseman Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, prior to that at bat, Rizzo came in and exchanged gloves. He traded his first baseman's mitt for a smaller one. So he was actually considered the second baseman there because Baez was holding the runner on at first.
And so by rule, and it's a point of emphasis this year that the player closest to first base is the only one permitted to wear that larger first baseman's mitt. So Baez was the first baseman on that play.
And that's something new. And I'm sure we'll see more and more of that if it continues to be successful. But I can't say I've seen that alignment.
That's played by, yeah, that's the first baseman. I just want to make sure. I think the biggest impact that that play has on is fantasy owners so that they can play Anthony Rizzo at second base. So one easy out for Tyone. How about getting this guy some runs this year, huh? He has not had a lead, yet he's only given up 2 runs all year. This is his 3rd start.
And for me, as far as going back to that bunt play, if you're the batter or the bunter, as Tyone was, and you go into the slug bunt like you suggested, the only way that they're going to be able to turn a double play is if you hit it directly at the pitcher or the first or third baseman who are way in. If you hit it to the shortstop, nobody's covering second, so they're just going to have to throw it over to first. You hit it to the right side, it's going through the hole. So it's a good chance you get it by the first and third baseman who are only 40 feet from you if you hit it on the ground. But if you hit it right,
it was ruled a fair ball. Baez is going to stretch it into 2. And that's the first extra base hit today for the Cubs.
Man, that was close too. I thought when it went by the bag it was in foul ground, but that doesn't matter as long as it goes over the bag. Get a good look at it here. There you see that's hooking, and is it very close?
Alan Porter said fair.
Yeah, Alan Porter has the best view of it. He has the best look as to where that ball was as it crossed the bag. He says it went over the bag.
The Cubs' other 4 hits, all singles against Tyone. Kyle Schwarber has got a pair of singles. Cervelli wants this one elevated, I suppose, right?
I think he's
messing with it.
Just in case. Catchers like to do that. Just in case.
With the runner at second?
The hitter's getting any help from the runner at second. Saw him do that a few times yesterday as well, where he'd kind of show an early target.
Quite wily. He is. Cervelli does a lot of things that go unnoticed. Not by the pitchers and the coaching staff.
Yeah, it might be something we have to ask Francisco or Tyler Glasnow. Yesterday's game, we talked about the amount of changeups and whether that was a game plan or whether that was something Cervelli urged Tyler to do, or if it was Tyler's doing.
Curve almost hit him. I would imagine too, as the game goes on, let's say Glasnow threw a few and you go, wow, that's a really good pitch today. Let's keep trying to use it.
I think it's such a feel for a pitcher, especially when it's a relatively new pitch. I mean, Tyler Glasnow, I think the majority of his minor league career was more fastball, curveball. I think everybody would agree. And a changeup was a developing thing that he worked on more and more.
Used a new grip this year.
New grip.
So it's a new changeup. And he actually likes to throw and had confidence in throwing. Just missing to Bryant. Curveball's been good for Tyone today.
Yeah, Cervelli's setting up a way, and Cervelli makes that look so easy, by the way. Not only to catch it and make it look like a strike, but to get his body in front of it. He's set up on the outside corner. He moves his whole body in to catch it in front of him.
That is foul. Well, pitch framing has been a term du jour, and I think Cervelli is always rated very highly, and the pitchers say that too. They help him out.
And I don't know what you think about it, how hard it is to hit a baseball. I think at times how hard it is to catch a baseball. But Francisco Cervelli set up on the outside part of the plate. What is it like? It was a curveball, so maybe you have 0.4, 0.5 seconds to move your body, to recognize the pitch where it's going to be, and be able to move your entire body to get in front of it. And there's a lot of catchers that do a good job of that, but it's really remarkable how easy they make it look.
He's got a piece. Well, Cervelli is one of the best, and that's why the Pirates wanted to keep him away from free agency, signing him to that extension last year.
He gets him right in the middle of the face mask here, or actually on the right side. Usually doesn't hurt as bad when it hits the middle. On the side, can't imagine that feeling too good.
That's a foul ball. Those masks today are lighter than ever. It is a stronger metal too, and with that cushioning, that absorbs more than it has ever before. So even though the masks look old-fashioned, catchers are getting better and better protected.
Yep.
Baez at second with 2 away. High into the air, but playable. Wind playing a little bit of a trick on Marte, but Jameson Taillon has worked around a little bit of trouble today. The Cubs have left on 5.
now the only way to buy a car. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Now look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders coming into the day today. National League leaders in strikeouts per 9 innings, and John Lester, along with his teammate John Lackey, among the early leaders. Pirates today, though, have only fanned twice. Pirates have been one of the better teams at limiting strikeouts among their batters. They put the ball in play quite a bit. Mercer today drawing a walk and bouncing out as the leadoff man.
Definitely don't think of Lester as a strikeout guy. Almost reached the 200 mark last year. 197 for Lester.
The average in baseball last year was 8.1 strikeouts per 9 innings, by far the highest ever. So a guy that strikes out a batter an inning is a little above average. Used to be a huge strikeout pitcher. Now it's not anything to sneeze at.
I wasn't sneezing at that.
Well, good, because you'd have to hit your cough button.
I did.
Yeah.
Even I didn't even want people in the truck to hear.
Yeah. So gentlemanly.
I try not to make a mess on the microphone.
Yeah. See, that wouldn't be very good for the rest of the game. You just, yeah. What are you doing over there? Oh,
Nothing.
Into the air.
Wrong day, Jordy.
Yeah, that's a home run yesterday. Room for Schwarber. Yeah, yesterday the wind was blowing at 24 miles an hour at game time. Today it is blowing, but it's out to right and firm, but not that gale force that we saw yesterday.
And Jordy hit that one pretty well. I mean, the wind stopped that. It held it up. The wind blowing out towards right.
Starling Marte has seen 17 pitches today, and he's 0 for 2 though. Starling Marte yesterday got in on the fun. Jackie Robinson Day. Wasn't helped by the wind at all. That was a low line drive that shot out of here. He's going to have to hurry. 2 up and 2 down against John Lester. We'll look at our day automotive. This day in Pirates history back in '62. Pirates beat the Cubs here at Wrigley Field. And Roberto Clemente, a go-ahead 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Bill Verdon got 3 hits. Dick Rote, Dick Stewart, and Don Hoke, each with a pair of hits. Those are some great names. And Diodamus Olivo with the wind in relief. Elroy Face got the save. Quick inning for John Lester. Pirates have 3 hits today, but we're still even. the rotation. The number 2 today has been his best pitch.
Oh, boy, has it ever. He's gone to it with 2 strikes, and he's gotten a number of strikeouts on that curveball. In fact, all 6 of his punch-outs either chased, like that one against Addison Russell, or taken, like it's done, like Contreras did twice. Both his at-bats ending in a curveball for strike 3.
And so what's Taillon have to do? He's been working without run support. He's gotten 2 runs of support all year. He's given up 2 runs all year. He's never had a lead.
We talked about Lester and how at the Open how good he's been his last 14 starts, and that goes back to July 29th. Since July 29th, Lester by far has the best ERA, 148. Jameson Taillon on that list in the top 10 at 292.
You think about how quickly he's been able to become one of the very best. I mean, you know, if he pitches like he's been pitching all the way to the All-Star break, he's going to be an All-Star this year, or very close to it.
And there's that pitch I was talking about earlier, his last at bat, Rizzo. If you can get that fastball in there, for Anthony Rizzo to get the barrel to it, it's going to be foul. See where Cervelli's set up? It's right around the belt. He got the barrel to it, but it's well foul. No chance of staying in play.
And it hangs up there.
Boy, that's a pretty good piece of hitting on the curveball. Again, that Taillon's gone to. Interesting, as he was starting his delivery, Cervelli was telling him to slow down. Cervelli put his hand up as if to say, take your time.
Joshua thinks that Taillon's curveball is illegal in several states. We were talking, what was that, the other night over dinner? We were talking about great curveballs. And now, we're not going to throw his in the mix of the all-time greats or anything like that, but that is a pitch that for a while it seemed like it kind of died away, and now there's some comeback for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like most pitchers, righties, were sinker slider guys. For whatever reason.
Well, I always heard because it was hard to get a called strike. Is that maybe why guys started to shy away from it for a while?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, you know, as a hitter, the curveball was always easier to see and easier to pick up. So if it wasn't thrown for a strike, you felt like you could take it. If they threw it for a strike and it was a good one, hang with them. We just showed Garrett Cole there for a moment. He has both the curveball and a slider, and he goes to the one that is more effective more times than not. If the curveball is good, he'll throw that more than the slider. Sometimes his slider is better than his curveball. He'll go to his slider more, but you don't see that very often where you have both a curveball and a slider to have the field where you can throw it where you want.
Different kinds of spin, is that why?
Yeah, sliders thrown harder, less break, but looks more like a fastball. Curveball has more of a hump in it and easier to recognize.
Garrett Cole the other day, Friday. Very good outing, long outing too in terms of pitches. One of the longest in his career. That was the series opening win. Pirates coming from behind to win yesterday. Today, who's going to break first? Zobrist aboard on the second walk issued by Taillon. Russell is struck out looking and then swinging. Zobrist stole 6 bases last year. Could be a double play ball. There's one. And there's 2.
Nicely done, David Freese. Good little pick.
He's been very good over there at first. And Taillon, a quick inning, will go to the 7th, still scoreless.
the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And high atop the Willis Tower. Tallest structure here in Chicago. Boy, you can get quite the view. Wait in line for about 3-4 hours, and then you can look out for a minute. You get a freebie here. A lot of tourists spring break. I saw a lot of college students roaming around Chicago here this weekend.
And what a great weekend to be here in April. You wouldn't think you'd plan a trip to Chicago in April because you don't know what the weather's going to offer, but never thought of that coming to Chicago for spring break. I thought you went somewhere warm.
Yeah, well, it's been warm here. I guess
yes, it has.
You can't afford the gas to get down south, and you just maybe go somewhere new.
Well, it's a great city to visit when it's warm, and it has been warm.
First time I came here was I think the first day it was 100 and something degrees. It was over 100.
Wow.
Came to a Cubs game, sat out on the bleachers, and it was like, okay, all right, I've had enough baseball for the weekend. Good old Ronnie Woo Woo, though, was clad in his full Cubs jersey, including the long socks and undershirt.
Who?
Ronnie Woo Woo was don't see him around here much anymore. I don't know if is he still around? Okay, all right. We're told he still hangs around here, but Cubs fan, often in the bleachers, who dresses in full Cubs regalia, the whole uniform. I mean, everything. In that particular day, it was well over 100 degrees, and he was all suited up.
Does he bop any people on the head? Little Ronnie hoo-hoo, hopping through the forest, chasing all the meesy-micey, bopping them on the head. You ever heard that song?
Not quite in that tone, but you know,
that's Bunny Foo-Foo.
Yeah, that's Ronnie Woo Woo, Bunny Foo-Foo. Yeah, I'm just glad on Easter you could sing us a song. That was nice.
Battling. We've seen a lot of that of late.
Got a seeds and a ball. All right. Payoff pitch. They draw the walk.
Another very close pitch. John Lester wanted it. So did his catcher. David Freese held his breath as it was very close. UPMC strike zone says that's off the plate.
Not by much, just like you said. Joe West telling it like it is. John Lester nearing 100 pitches. Pirates with the leadoff man for the first time on base since the first. And Mercer was caught stealing. Zarelli's hit the ball hard twice today. Fly out and a single. Freeze on in the 7th in this 0-0 game. Great pitching.
Back-to-back cutters. Fools Cervelli. Has him a little bit out in front, swinging over it. And you see it running in, over the top.
You know Lester's not going to throw over. He's getting a moderate lead over. Called strike 3. And Cervelli, who spends a lot of time around that plate, didn't agree.
says no. Both backstops unhappy with Joe West when they've been at the plate, and that pitch right on the corner.
So just the third strikeout today for Lester. Well, the best chance of the day, Josh Harrison, his last time up. Freeze is caught out.
And again, we talk so much about the base runners at first. They know they can get a bigger lead with John Lester out there because he's not throwing over. But this is what you have to be careful with: is if you're off there and your secondary lead is too big, you got a catcher with a pretty good arm, quick release. In this case, a very accurate throw.
And that hits Harrison. So both times that the Pirates have had the leadoff man on in this game, he's been erased.
Josh Harrison once again hitting the lower leg. Walking it off.
Had a calf concern in his right calf earlier last week. And Contreras with a fist pump. That's one way to control the running game, right?
Yeah, that's, I mean, again, if you're going to take a bigger than normal lead because of Lester, you got to be careful with your secondary lead. You can't take too much to where you can't get back. If you're going to take that big lead and you want to steal a base, that's something else. But even like Josh Harrison, he's got a bigger than normal lead right now, but he shortened his secondary lead. He didn't go on the pitch, so he just took basically one hop to his right. He might go here.
He is. Pitches a strike, and so is the throw from Contreras.
And again, that's why it's not as easy as it has been to run on John Lester, because he has gotten quicker to the plate.
Harrison thinks he might be safe.
And it still took a great throw, quick tag. I mean, with 2 outs, sure, make the catcher make a perfect throw to throw you out, but unfortunately that's exactly what he did.
3 base runners thrown out today by Contreras. Cubs 0-0. What a ball game. Josh Harrison, one of two Contreras victims in that 7th inning. Cubs catcher's thrown out 3 today. What have the Pirates been doing wrong, or is it Contreras doing things right?
Well, combination. I couldn't say the Pirate runners have done anything wrong, really. The one was a 3-2. You're going on a 3-2 pitch. Jordy Mercer in the first, and so that's fairly common. And Contreras made a strong, accurate throw. Mercer's not really a base stealer. You're just opening up a hole for Marte more than anything else.
Hayward with a leadoff single.
A very quick release, strong throw, got David Freese. So Freese would have to adjust, I would say, as far as maybe he got off a little too far with the bigger lead, the bigger secondary lead, to where Contreras makes a perfect throw and barely gets him. Josh Harrison, there's 2 outs. You're trying to get into scoring position. Lester hasn't given up much today. You have to try to get in scoring position. He's a base stealer. He had a big lead, had a big jump. It just worked out to where Lester was quicker to the plate. Contreras made a strong, accurate throw again. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a combination of things.
Tip your cap.
Exactly.
Hayward aboard. He's stolen 1 already this year. Contreras has struck out looking twice today. And last year he threw out 31%. It's just over league average as a rookie, and this year now 3 out of 7. 0-0 in the 7th. Cubs with 6 hits, they've stranded 5. Pirates with 3 hits, they've stranded 3. Through.
Stay back.
Oh boy, that should have been 2 outs, and instead it's none. For sure 1. That'll be an error on Mercer.
This is a tough play because of this. Okay, typically when you're in the middle infielder, you're using your feet to put yourself in a good position to make a play. Here, Jordy Mercer is staying back so he can catch it while he's on the bag and make a throw. So typically, if this ball is rated Jordy, he makes it look easy. But because he was staying back to try to turn 2, he kind of got caught with an in-between hop. The ball was on its way up. It handcuffs him. Obviously a big break for the Cubs. But it's a totally different play. It's a different result. You're going to get 1 out if it isn't that situation. Jordy was thinking 2 instead of just another ground ball.
Got through Tyone, and Contreras runs better than your average catcher too, so he would have been tough to double up at.
But that was your only chance. It's for Mercer to stay back, catch it while he's got 1 foot on the bag, and fire across.
Ray Searage will come out. So now each team has made an error. And some activity in the Pirates bullpen. Wade LeBlanc, the left-hander.
The meeting on the mound, all the infielders were at the mound. You have to watch here. A good possibility that Joe Madden call for a sacrifice here.
The pitcher spot in the 8th position, so Tommy LaStella pinch hits for Lester, done after 7 scoreless.
And so Jameson told to start out with the inside move to see if LaStella would tip his hand. Did not square, by the way, as Jameson turned towards second.
Corners in a bit. LaStella 0 for 3, very limited action. Uehara, a veteran right-hander.
2 of the softer throwing pitchers warming up. in baseball.
Missed away. Well, we've gotten to this point. Remember, Taillon in his season debut issued 7 scoreless in Boston. That game went scoreless until the 12th inning. This has been the biggest jam he's been in so far, with 2 on and nobody out.
Velocity still there, 95 with late movement. His fastball running away from the left-handed bat. You'll see the movement. Boy, that's a perfect location too.
Out to left, and Frazier started in and could not recover. Here comes the game's first run. Couple of misplays, and the Cubs take advantage. Rock, you said in the pregame today, you got to play, you got to get timely hits, you got to pitch well, and you got to have good defense to beat a very good team on the road.
Yeah, to try to pull off a sweep here in Wrigley, yeah, you have to do everything well. And in this inning in particular, you see the effort from Frazier. Again, the route wasn't perfect, but still just inches away from making the play off the end of the glove. And you think about the miscue around second base, what looked like a huge double play ball turned into a bobble by Mercer, which set that up. I'll tell you what, La Stella did a pretty good job. That was the curveball, I believe, that he was able to protect against and just slapped the other way. And you got a perfect route, perhaps. Frazier would be able to make that play.
Now the infield comes in. Javier Baez the batter. Second and third after the double. 1-0 Cubs. And Mercer corrals him. That'll get the first out. Well, if everything went according to Hoyle, that would have been your inning after a leadoff single, but instead trying to limit the damage. And this is the kind of stuff we've seen from Jameson Taillon. He's been able to get around things that go wrong behind him, showing great poise for a young pitcher.
Tell you what, he's one of those guys that yeah, he's obviously very talented. He knows how to pitch, he knows what he's doing, but he's one of those guys where when things get sketchy, when there's runners on and he needs to make pitches, he gets better.
Infield still in for Schwarber. Pair of singles today. LeBlanc ready if needed. Explain to us, Rock, the contact play. When is it time to send the runner from third?
You're never going to do it with nobody out. You're not going to make that out at home with nobody out. And so with one out in this situation, a lot of managers are going to be aggressive. Worst case scenario, you ground out and get thrown out at the plate and you're still at first and third, which isn't a horrible thing. A lot of it depends on what you have as far as runners. The runner at third, does he have speed? And for me, sometimes it has a lot to do with the batter. If you have a batter with some speed, okay, and then you have the contact play on, there's a ground ball to second, you have the runner breaking for home, and you have a good enough base runner staying a run down long enough to where the batter ends up at second and you're still at second and third. So that's why, you know, for me, I would prefer to be aggressive with one out, second and third. I would prefer to go on contact almost all the time, because if I have a good enough runner that can stay in it, if he's dead to rights and stay in a rundown long enough, you're still going to have second and third with 2 outs.
We'll see if that comes into play here.
Because there's a lot of things that happen. You hit if you hit a soft ground ball to say that the shortstop's left or the second baseman's left, it's a tough play. They're going to have a hard time throwing out an average runner from third base if they have to go to their left, because they got to go reach to their left and turn all the way around to throw home, do it very quickly and accurately.
And now 3-1 with first base open, and Chris Bryant, the reigning MVP, on deck.
And Jameson has come in a good bit to Schwarber, missing with the fastball. Went 2-0 curveball first strike. 3-1. See what he opts to do. Look at those pitches. It's 3-1. The count. Look at those pitches.
Wow, that.
And you know, for me, a home plate umpire can't miss the pitch inside, because that's where he looks. He's looking over the catcher's shoulder at the inside corner. So if the ball is across the plate, it's almost impossible to miss, unless they maybe miss up and down, but they have to be able to see the ball cross the plate.
Well, Taillon has had everything go wrong behind him in this inning. A couple of misplays in the field, one called an error, and there probably should have been ahead of Schwarber, but instead Contreras at third, Mastella after the double at second, and Schwarber the walk. Bryant grounded into a rare double play in the first inning. Rocky pointed out only 3 double plays in 600+ at bats last year, and the only reason he grounded into a double play this time was because of an overturned challenge.
And for that, you see, not very good with the bases loaded, although 3 grand slams. Average not good. And the defense is playing pretty deep right now. Gonna come home.
A little bobble, but still plenty of time to get the out. Good play.
Yeah, that situation you have to come home. The ball's not hit hard enough to turn 2. Again, he's not a burner, but he's at least an average runner. And unless there's a bullet at somebody, it's going to be hard to turn a double play. So you heard the bat crack. The ball was off the end of the bat. Yeah, there's no way you're turning 2 there. So good heads up play by Josh.
This sets up, to me, what it could be another breakthrough moment. I mean, Jameson Taillon already, to me, has been so impressive. This is really his nemesis. If there's one guy in baseball that he's had the toughest time to retire, it's Rizzo. The bases are full. He's tiring. It's a 1-0 ball game in the 7th. And a swing and a miss.
I love watching Cervelli. I don't remember him doing this in past years, but you know, trying to mess with the timing of the hitter. He was sitting there again telling Taillon, wait, come on, go. and then he kind of came quickly to the plate with a curveball and a bad swing from Rizzo.
And another swing and a miss. Rizzo with the bases loaded, 291 in his career.
Nothing fancy, just blows a high heater by him.
Now what do you do? 0-2. Bases full. Good stop by Cervelli.
There's trust there, obviously, with the bases loaded, to be able to bounce the curveball up there. You trust that he's going to be able to block it. Now they're going to discuss things. You mentioned Rizzo has hit Taillon in the past. He's had 3 good at bats against him today. Base hit, a walk, a line out.
And in his career, 4 for 7 with 2 home runs.
And how about the confidence in Clint Hurdle, allowing Taillon
Great point.
to get out of it himself.
Pitch number 105 coming. And tap foul. Well, Jameson Taillon has never thrown more than 105 pitches in any start in his professional career. Today will be the first time. And that's trust.
And he's earned it.
I agree. He's ahead of Rizzo. I feel like if he gets Rizzo, the Pirates will win this game.
I hope you're right.
Bases full of Cubs with 2 outs. Now 2-2.
Cervelli is again. Come on.
Nowhere to put him. Uncharted waters for Taillon.
And I think he has to stay either fastball, curveball. Either you crowd him with the fastball in, or you get him on a good curveball that breaks out of the zone. Changeup, I don't know if that's an option. Is Rizzo up there protecting? He's choked up on the bat.
The 2-2. Now the runners will be moving.
Set up a little away. That ball had some tail on it. It's off the plate.
Taillon was ahead 0-2. Now full. Nowhere to put him. Popped him up.
What a big pitch. Curveball.
And Mercer squeezes it. What an inning from Jameson Taillon. Everything went wrong behind him, and he limits the damage to 1.
You by the Chevy Traverse and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
So we go to the 8th inning. Cubs only get 1 out of that, and some great pitching under pressure by Jameson Taillon. Wow.
Yeah, you talk about keeping your team in the game. Now, he had some trouble throughout the game, but nothing like that 7th inning. After the hit, thought he had a double play ball. That was an error. Maybe a fly ball to left. That ball ends up dropping for a double. He's already given up 1, 2nd, and 3rd, nobody out. And then he just pitched his rear end off. Man, just outstanding stuff as Zobrist moves over to the left. They bring in Almora Jr. into center field. Hayward goes over to right.
Going to have the defense set up with their lead. And Uehara on to try to protect it.
He not a hard thrower, but he hasn't given up an earned run. 6 strikeouts and 5 2/3. He throws strikes, just the 1 walk. Got to find a way.
John Jaso will lead off. He'll pinch hit for Gosselin. Tell you what, we've been treated to some great ball games here early in the season.
Yes, we have, and I tell you that's something else. And we saw it. Jameson, his first start in Boston, he had a situation, I think 1st and 3rd, nobody out. And then you just see him ramp it up. You just see that the stuff gets better, the execution better.
There's a pair of aces right there. That wins you a lot of hands. I mean, think about it. You put a guy in his first full season in at the number 2 spot in your rotation. It's not by default. I mean, really, the way that he pitched last year, you thought if he can keep improving that he'd deserve it. So far through 3 starts, he's been even better than he was last year.
Indeed.
His ERA right now is 0.90. And unless the Pirates score twice and hold on to win, he's going to be winless. But that is of little concern, because You know, he pitches anything like this, that's a big time winner.
Indeed. Let's see if we can find a way to get a couple runs across for him here. And a chance for a W.
Well, that would equal as much as he's had so far in those 3 starts. 2. Just coincidence. Yeah, good leadoff walk for Jaso. Does not have a hit this year, and a good at bat to start things out. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Good at bat from John Jaso. Uehara tried to get him to chase on a 3-2 pitch, so just like that, tying runs on.
Adam Frazier.
That considered a split, the first pitch. Frazier out in front. And we talked about this earlier with Ben Zobrist up. First inning, runner being held on at first. Got a soft pitch to hit, pulled it through the hole on the right side. Uehara is a guy that could do that against.
There's Josh Bell on deck. He would bat for Tyone. Switch hitter.
Like to get him up there with 2 men aboard.
Well, the Pirates have had the leadoff man on twice. Both times Contreras has thrown him out. He's thrown out 3 base runners, has the Cubs catcher today. Adam Frazier doing what he does best.
That's amazing. Go ahead, John.
Jaso's going to move to third.
Boy, oh boy.
That's a double for Frazier.
He is something else, boy. He is a hitting machine, Adam Frazier.
His hits come in key spots, too.
Yes, he does. It just doesn't matter who he's facing. If it's John Lester or Uehara, that pitch is left up in the zone, and just watch, just simple. It's so short and quick and simple. No movement. So much fun to watch. Looks so easy. Copy that if you're a youngster. Eliminate the movement. Keep the head still. Throw the hands at the ball.
And now second and third with nobody out, by far the Pirates' best chance today. And they'll play back. They'll concede the tying run. Josh Bell pinch hitting. Switch hitter. Had a hit yesterday in his start. Ball 1.
This tells you, at least in my opinion, that Gregory Polanco probably not available today. Although Josh Bell, you see right there, pretty good numbers in his career as a pinch hitter.
That's all he was in that first go round. Pirates are bringing him up. What is it, right before the All-Star break last year, right? Last series.
Against these Cubs. And there you see Gregory.
Groin concern. Well, with Frazier's good speed at second, a base hit to the outfield could give the Pirates the lead.
Good eye there. That's the pitch that Uehara wants you to chase. Throws that split up there and looks so inviting. It just kind of
bottom falls out.
Yeah, it just looks so slow and soft and easy to hit until it disappears. Good discipline there from Josh Bell. Way off the plate.
And 3-1.
Contreras, which leads you to believe they don't want to give Josh Bell anything to hit. They'd rather deal with the bases loaded, set up the double play with Jordy Mercer on deck, than to give Bell anything to hit. See if he goes way off again. Make a mistake and put it on the plate.
Missed. And the bases are full of Buccos with nobody out here in the 8th inning. Pirates need an RBI. How about RBI baseball 2017? It returns with fast-paced pick-up and play MLB action packed with all your favorite teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Get RBI baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and your Nintendo. No, just kidding. And your mobile devices as well. Go to RBIGame.com. That's they don't use that anymore, right? So Mercer will bat here, 0 for 2 today.
Pinch runner at first for Bell, Alan Hansen.
Hansen with very good speed. First one is in for a strike. Mercer has not faced Uehara. Jaso walked. Frazier doubled to left. Bell walked, and now Hansen pinch running for him at first. Pirates' best chance today. A few more inches in. Mercer maybe can't get out of the way of that one.
Yeah, and this is a guy you really want to try to stay back on. Again, he doesn't throw hard. He averages 86 with the fastball. He probably wants you to roll over a grounder to third. But you want to really try to fight it and stay through it. Stay up the middle. Just like that. Sit, 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 sit. That's sitting.
That's down. And the Pirates have tied it. And Jordy Mercer with the bloop RBI single. We're knotted at 1.
And you'll take it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It looks like a big base hit and an RBI here at Wrigley Field, looking for the sweep. Great opportunity here. The base is loaded, nobody out, and Jordy does try to stay up the middle. Off the hands a little bit, but just enough of it. Lands safely, still nobody out with the bases full.
Look at Taillon. I guarantee you, no one wants to win more than him right now.
And he deserves it. I don't know if anybody deserves a win more than him right now.
Uehara could not retire a batter. Pitching change here in Chicago. Bases loaded, still no men out. Trying to get some runs for Jameson Taillon, who was excellent today. Now Hector Rondon on.
Hard throwing righty. Fastball upper 90s, averages almost 96 miles per hour, and a slider. Opponents hitting just 125 against him. 7 punch outs, 4 1/3 innings. And despite the velocity, throws a lot of sliders, especially against right-handed hitters. So obviously a tough guy to face. Marte's going to go up there and try to give the Pirates a lead, but you got to gear up for a fastball. You got to gear up for plus velocity, even though the stats say you're more likely to see a slider.
This is like
tough.
This is like when Marte and McCutchen yesterday in the late innings faced Strop.
Exactly.
Marte drew a walk, then McCutchen homered. Rondon working with the bases loaded, infield halfway. Big stop by Contreras. Ball 1.
against right-handed hitters. Rondon, 52% of the time, will throw a slider.
Base is full of buckos. Check swing. And they got the one out. Marte kind of caught in between on that swing.
That's a tough play for Baez. Baez going to his left, but able to get himself in a good position to throw on the run. And the only reason that Frazier's out is because it was a force. Just enough time.
So now one out. Trying to get the first lead. Andrew McCutchen gave the Pirates their first lead that they would keep yesterday with his 3-run home run. Ball one. So the very speedy Hansen at third. Where's this one?
Ooh. You can see why the reaction from the crowds, from Contreras, from Rondon.
Fell back. And yesterday, Pirates had trailed throughout the whole game. They were down 4. Down 1 when he got that one out of here. A 3-run home run. And put the Pirates up for good. That was huge.
Could he do it again? First career grand slam, maybe.
Little weak number. Rizzo. Called safe.
He's not on the plate. Contreras was not on the plate. That's a heck of a play by Rizzo. The bare hand in the throw, but Contreras, his back foot came off home plate.
Wow. The Pirates take the lead on that. Rock, great eyes. Look at that.
They're going to look at it because it's very, very close. It's clear his foot came off the plate after he caught it. Was maybe his toe on the plate when he caught it. That's what they're going to look at.
Well, the game, the lead right now, will be decided in New York. Alan Hansen brought in as a pinch runner with that very, very good speed. Rizzo made a heck of a play.
That was a heck of a play by Rizzo. I didn't think they had a prayer at getting it out at home.
When is the ball in the back of his glove? Right there. Oh, man. Well, we'll see.
That's going to be a tough one to overturn. I mean,
it's when it's at the back of the glove. That's when it decides that it is a caught ball. Not when it crosses the front of the glove. First angle, though.
Yeah, that one. The last 2 angles, I don't think that you can overturn it based on those.
Hansen did everything he could to scamper home. He's getting a very good secondary lead from third. Been watching him as those pitches were coming home. So Rondon has come on with the bases loaded. He got 2 weak ground balls. Both Cub infielders with great plays to get forces or try for forces at the plate.
I think it's times like this the fans here at Wrigley appreciate that they have a video board now.
Right. A couple of years ago, you just go, well.
What are they doing? What are they looking at? What's the big deal? Now they get to see it in all the different angles. And
before, you're just waiting.
Just waiting. And yeah, they want to get it right, but obviously very close, very hard to tell, and my guess not overturnable.
And I bet you it stands. It does. Well, if you're a Cubs fan, you're not happy. You think you saw something there, but Look, baseball said about a 2-minute guideline. They adhered to that, and if you can't figure it out for sure in that period, then we move on. And when is it in the back? Oh, boy,
that's so close.
I mean, a cleat. So it's a fielder's choice for McCutchen. The Pirates have the first lead of the day, and they've got a lead for Tyone, who really pitched magnificently today. He navigated some rough waters. The other part of this is now there's only one out.
Still one out. Let's go.
Gets away from Contreras. Mercer at third, electing the conservative route.
Missing badly. You don't see many fastballs hitting out in front of the home plate or ending up that short. Unfortunate that Contreras was able to keep that from going to the backstop.
Two career grand slams. First time this year he's batted with the bases full. He's got Mercer over at third. Had a base hit RBI. Then Marte at second. McCutchen also reaching out a fielder's choice. One out. Rondon, the former closer. That's not going to be deep enough. Hayward with that great arm out there. They're not going to test it. Mercer's going to come home, and he is in, and the Pirates had a run anyway. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. We take it. I mean, that's why, as you're told, you want a longer hop for your catcher. You airmail the cutoff man. You tie up your catcher. Contreras tries to keep it in front, but he has to go up towards the line a little bit.
Hayward, one of the best arms out there in right, accurate and good. And credit Mercer for staying alive on that play.
Oh yeah, you bluff like you're going, follow the throw in. There you see, that's a tough little hop for a catcher to deal with.
No RBI. It's a time at bat for Freese. An error on Hayward allows Mercer to score. 3 runs here in this Pirates 8th inning.
And if you think, well, where's the pitcher? Why isn't he backing up? Well, he's backing up behind home plate, not down in front of the dugout.
The other runners moved up too. The speedy Marte at third. McCutchen at second for Cervelli. Bryant did not tag the runner. And Cervelli thrown out anyway. Pirates get 3 and now have a lead against the Cubs. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. Jamison Tyone pitched well beyond his years today. Jam in the 7th inning, limiting the damage.
I'll tell you what, that's like sometimes as an outfielder or as a fielder, you want to bail out a pitcher. And sometimes as a pitcher, you want to bail out your fielders. And you know, a couple plays that maybe could have been made for him in that 7th inning, but he didn't worry about it. He just turned it up a notch and got out of a very hairy situation. And the Cubs couldn't do the same in the top of the 8th. Bit of a messy inning for them.
Felipe Rivero on to try to keep this in favor. David Freese has swung over across the diamond to third. Part of the defensive changes. Josh Harrison moves from third to second base. John Jaso pinch hit. And now he's stationed at first.
Awkward looking swing there from Ben Zobrist.
Rivero on for the 9th time here in the first 12 games of the season.
Watch out.
Gave the line on Uehara. Did not retire a batter. Gave up 3 runs, 2 earned.
129 ERA. Quick work of Ben Zobrist. Finishes him off with the slider.
A myriad of weapons for Rivero.
Oh, that's a changeup, actually.
You know what?
About that.
Yeah, I thought it was a slider too, and then you see the grip there.
The
But
grip was a changeup, and kind of riding inside.
And a fastball at 98. I mean, we're sitting up here in easy chairs and we're trying to guess. Imagine what it's like for the hitters. He's got 4 different pitches he can throw. And the old number 1, that's no cakewalk either. Mid to upper 90s with that fastball. Touches 100. To Mercer. And quickly 2 gone. Just how you like it after that really rough and tumble couple of half innings. Keep it quiet now. Try to go to St. Louis with a sweep. And the Pirates will return home next weekend. Bring the whole family out on Kids Day. A week from today, Sunday, April 23rd. Pirates and the Yankees at 1:35. Fun at games before, during, and after. Every fan 14 and younger taking home a Pirates water bottle, courtesy of Allegheny Health Network Transplant Institute. Go to pirates.com/kidsdays. Bring all the baby buckos out too. Hayward scored the Cubs run last inning after he led off with a single. What a ball game. What a series. Tell you what, if you love baseball, now the Pirates are on the wrong side of things in Boston in that 12-inning game, but we have seen some really good tight baseball games. Some clutch hits, some miscues as well that have opened the door on both sides. Throughout this series, throughout the whole season so far. It's been interesting. Yeah, the Pirates, if they can complete this sweep, Kutch's home run yesterday, my goodness.
I mean, every now and again you'd like to have kind of an easier game, like to win one by 7 or 8 and just kind of kick back and relax.
Pirates have led by 3 runs in 3 innings and by 4 runs in 1 inning this year. That's it. If they've been up, it's been close. Might have broken his bat. Freeze. It's the final out. Nice quiet inning from Felipe Rivero. 9th inning coming up. Pirates trying to add to their 3-1 lead. Pirates lead 3-1. Ivan Nova going to get the nod tomorrow in St. Louis. Starting that 3-game series, our Nissan road ahead. Nova v. Lynn mañana. Then Cool and Cole as the Pirates try to make a sweep here. And then to go and play the last place Cardinals. It's 2 weeks into the season. But hey, Pirates trying to get back on a roll after a topsy-turvy homestand. Happy birthdays. Nothing better than getting a foul ball, huh?
Yeah. She caught it. She's in shock.
Take a picture. And nice play over there. Well, the Cubs outlook in this game maybe decided by who they brought into the ball game here.
Again, hit.
Wow. Harrison has been hit twice in the legs.
He was giggling the last time he got hit because it's always below the knee, it seems like. Justin Grimm, his 6th appearance, 5.79 ERA. Just 4 2/3 innings. It's already 4 times Jay Hayes been hit.
Nice 2 at bats. Oh yeah, get back. Pirates have had 3 base runners erased today. 1 on a pickoff, a couple caught stealing. But a 3-run 8th inning. Finally cracking the scoreboard, putting the Pirates ahead, putting Tyone in position for a victory. Left trailing 1-0 after masterfully limiting all sorts of things that went wrong behind him in that Cubs 7th, keeping it at that single skinny number, and then a crooked one for the Buccos, trying to earn 3 wins here in Chicago. They won once here all last year.
Yeah. Tripling it hopefully after today.
I mean, this stuff, I mean, Bob and I talked about it yesterday. I mean, see if you're in the same camp. When you beat division opponents, especially ones that if you want to be at the top of the division as the Cubs were last year, you got to win those games. Pirates did not do a good job of that last year.
Actually, 2 years ago they didn't do a very good job of it and still ended up with 98 wins. If they would have finished over 500 in the division, they would have had 100 wins and would have won the division. Yeah, but I think that was just kind of an aberration. That's not going to happen. They just destroyed the American League in the East and the West divisions.
Harrison running, and he's going to steal a base.
But you know, I think in most cases, to be division winners, you have to have a winning record against your division foes.
Yeah, you win and they lose.
And obviously, this being a big road trip, especially given that just 3 games against the division, the Reds losing all 3. It'd be nice to sweep these Cubs because it's never looks good as you see Tony Watson, Daniel Hudson up.
Watson would be pitching for the 3rd straight day.
When you come into Wrigley and you're facing Hendricks, Arrieta, Lester, and you're not thinking sweep, you're thinking win a series.
The Pirates have been unpredictable so far in the early going.
And I say that as a fan. I don't think the players come in here and think, "Oh, we have no chance of sweeping."
Oh, no doubt. Harrison after the steal at second. And 3-2 on Jaso. Jaso started that 3-run 8th inning. He drew a walk. Remember, Jaso so far hitless this year, so that was a pretty important part of that inning. Frazier on deck. He's got 2 hits today, including a double last inning. And the Pirates tack on here. You just don't ever feel safe.
No, I mean, yeah, you'd like to add on.
That's not a knock against the late inning relievers. It's just, this is the Cubs.
This is the Cubs and what they've done here against the Pirates in the past, especially last year. And you also have a great scoring opportunity here. You play fundamental ball here. You get a ball to the right side, move Jay Hay to third, get a fly ball. You have insurance. Or take that.
Ball 4, and Harrison moves up as well. So Jaso gets on it and moves up the runner on a wild pitch.
And I'll tell you, obviously the top of the 8th inning, the Pirates score 3. It started with a walk on an off-speed pitch on a 3-2 count to John Jaso. Here again, a 3-2 pitch, a walk after a hit batter. And so, you got to be frustrated as a Cubs fan, Cubs pitching coach, Cubs manager, when you kind of give the opportunity. The big hit, I thought, in that last inning, the Adam Frazier double. He's up again.
Baez, the second baseman, halfway, the rest in.
But a walk, double walk. I mean, that kind of set things up for the Pirates in the 8th.
Uehara did not retire any of the 4 batters he faced. So that's how the Cubs play Frazier. 2 for 3 today. He blasts this one out to center field. And the Cubs looking up, and there it goes, a 3-run home run for Adam Frazier. Folks, you got to be kidding me. What a series for the Buccos here in Chicago.
This guy is amazing. And again, he just goes out there and gives you solid at bat after solid at bat. You don't expect home runs. He has power to hit home runs. He just doesn't really have the swing or presses the issue. Hits a lot of balls the other way. Just a simple, easy approach. And you see right there, he has power to hit the ball in the seats. And this ball was a rocket, and he knew it right away. Fastball middle, turns on it, and admired it.
My goodness.
That felt good. That felt really good. My goodness gracious.
Frazier had 3 home runs in 4 minor league seasons. First one of the year here. Boy, that has absolutely quieted and is starting to empty out this place.
And you can hear the mic in the dugout. Somebody in the Pirates dugout. Hey, where's everybody going? As the fans.
Well, this shows you how well it's been going here the last couple innings. Chad Kuhl will pinch hit here. They'll give Kuhl an at bat over Rivero, with the Pirates up 6-1, and they are finding the exits thanks to that big blast by Frazier. A 3-hit day. My goodness.
I think the one game at home against the Reds, I think Adam Frazier went 0 for, maybe had 3 punch outs.
A rare.
And you're like, oh, yeah, maybe he can slump. There wasn't a slump. It was just one bad game.
Yeah, his one game slumps. Kuhl sends this one out toward the corner and foul. Frazier hitting .343. Career over 300 in the minors and majors. And LeBlanc. That actually, you know what? This is, by the way, this is the largest lead for the Pirates all season. And that allows Watson to not have to pitch that 3rd day in a row. Now he's going to be fresh Monday night in St. Louis. Byproduct of the home run.
Chad Kuhl. He wants to join the hit parade. Not that the Pirates have a bunch of hits.
Remember, the Pirates were held off the scoreboard until the 8th inning.
Yeah. Just 6 hits. Adam Frazier, half of those.
Lester 7 shutout innings on 3 hits. And the Cubs bullpen has not been good in this series, and that has continued.
Obviously, last year that a bit of an Achilles heel. It's something that they had to address. The All-Star break, or at the trade deadline, rather.
Adam Frazier's 3-run home run.
That was a bomb. That was a rocket shot.
Now, they were kind of playing him a little shallow too, and Cool working an 8-pitch walk. By the way, the distance on that Frazier home run, 432 feet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It could be loud off of his bat too. It doesn't matter about the wind conditions when you hit a ball that good. It took no time to get out there either.
So Cool, a pinch hit, 8-pitch walk. If you would have told me in the 9th inning of this game that was going to happen, it was going to be either one way or the other.
Yeah. 19 pitches for Grimm. Hasn't retired anybody yet.
Uehara did not retire a batter. Rondon came on and did a really good job getting those 2 bounce outs with the infield brought in. And the force plays at the plate, but the latter of which Contreras came off the base. And you think about Contreras, how much he was a big factor erasing Pirates base runners early, and go figure, that ends up extending that inning.
Yep.
Jordy Mercer tying the game. Look at it. For the folks that came out here, or the folks that live here, this has been something else. And a play ball. Well, if you're feeling good right now, let's carry this thing through. After the game, Penguins, Blue Jackets from Columbus, Game 3. Pirates looking for a sweep here, trying to go up 3-0 in this series. So will the Pens. Of course, you need 4 in that one. Pirates will head on to St. Louis after this.
Marte was thinking about adding on real quick. Came up empty.
This has been a fun one. Not only because the Pirates have been ahead, but we've been treated some very good ball games. And think about this one, going into the bottom of 7th, scoreless. And a Hayward error, a throwing error. Just, I mean, incomprehensible, some of the things we've seen. And not to diminish Adam Frazier, but by far, I would imagine that's the longest home run of his career. That was quite a blast.
It was a bomb.
Not that he can't hit them, but to right center, almost center field, really. And for the Pirates, it's an early statement. There's a long way to go, but now you start with 3 wins here. Pirates get the Cubs again next week back at PNC. Don't feel like you can't beat the Cubs now. You feel like you can beat the Cubs.
Absolutely.
And now the Cubs now feel like maybe the Pirates are a little bit more respected thanks to that big blast. Adam Frazier, he's got a grin. He should. Pirates up 6-1. St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. They've won 3 of their first 11. Ivan Nova will get the start against Lance Lynn. Our coverage with Root Sports begins at 6:30 with Pirates pregame, presented by WB Mason. Pirates 3 outs away from a series sweep here in Chicago. 6-1. Late scoring.
You know what I think that says? Try not to overmanage.
That is something else.
Really funny.
It's got the glasses by the Cubs manager. There he is. I'm sure this has been a maddening game for him. And now Wade LeBlanc.
He's done good work. None better than saving the bullpen at home against the Reds, where he went 5 1/3. He did 1 bad inning, making his ERA at 5.4. Outside of that, it really wasn't that bad of an inning. He could have been out of that inning. A ball, play not made for him, but he's done nice work.
It'll be the bottom of the order here in the 9th inning to Contreras, then the pitcher's spot. I beg your pardon, Almora was moved into that spot. And then Baez.
Change up there. You know, if you weren't named Adam Frazier and you hit in today's game, you helped combine to go 3 for 26.
Oh,
3
the rest?
for 26. Everybody else but Adam Frazier.
John Lester was very good today.
Yeah, he was very good. But it's pretty amazing. You think of that, you know, 1 through 7 was 3 for 24. And you're wondering, 6 runs? Adam Frazier, what a day. Big hits late, the double, the homer.
Oh, he's making a case to try to get into that lineup as much as he can. Clint Hurdle, he knows what he's got on his hands. He's trying to get him in there as much as he can.
No, he's been in there. I mean, I think he started all but maybe 2 or 3 games.
Doesn't quite have a position. He started in 5 different positions so far. Try to find a spot. Jordy Mercer got it all started. Bloop single with the bases loaded. Doesn't matter. Tied the game. Jordy, a busy guy today.
Good job coming and getting that ball. Had to. Didn't have time.
Chaso's gotten better and better over there at first.
Charging hard, getting the short hop, throwing on the run. Contreras by a step.
So 1 away in the Cubs' 9th. Almora batting for the first time. Or with the Pirates win today, they would improve to 6-6. The Cubs would fall to 6-6. The only team ahead of this duo is Cincinnati. Reds lost today. Am I standings watching already here in mid-April? Oh, why not? Let's take a look. The Pirates, again, if they win today, they will either have been swept or have swept every series. Middle ground. 2 outs. Reminder, Penguins and Blue Jackets after this one. So stay tuned. Hopefully a very, very good day for Pittsburgh sports. Penn's pregame coming up. To Columbus after that. Alan Hansen. That was a big play for Hansen today.
Oh yeah.
He was able to slide in. Ended up being the go-ahead run. He's had 2 big plays on the bases in the last 2 days of this series. Javi Baez doubled back of the 5th. 2 outs, bases empty. Pirates up 5 here in the 9th. Looking for a sweep. Out to right and deep. McCutchen's going to have room, and the Pirates have swept the Cubs here in Chicago. What an effort for these Buccos. After losing 3 against Cincinnati at home, they turn it around in a hurry, and they played some great baseball this weekend.
Boy, did they ever. And the best thing about it is we get to leave here without hearing that song.